Hello gorgeous people, what is going on? And welcome back to another video. Firstly, welcome to the second channel. If this is your first time being here, this is Project Immortal, where I upload basically anything that is not analog horror over here. So I'll be uploading some horror games, we'll be uploading some regular chill games, some story games, and now we'll even be reacting to other things that aren't analog horror over on here. And today we're starting with searching for a world that doesn't exist. Now, this kind of is in the horror genre, but it's more in like the Minecraft ARG mystery type of vibe. In this video, we learn about how the creator Wifies found a channel called AveryTheMayo. And on his channel, he shows us how he discovered a mine that he did not create and a weird book in a chest. And this leads down an entire rabbit hole of a mystery, which might even be leading to cosmic entities. This one is truly insane, and I want to go over this video and just basically give you guys my thoughts on it and what I think of it. And I've seen a ton of people online talking about this because this video blew up massively. This video has 22 million views at the time of making this video. But obviously, please be sure to go and support the original creator, Wifies, whose link to the channel will be at the top of the description down below. They seem to make a ton of incredible videos like this, so if you like what you end up seeing here today, be sure to go and support them and watch their other stuff. But alright guys, enough of me yapping. Let's jump right in.
Whatever you do at the crossroads, don't turn left. This is the first line in a book that Avery claims he did not write. 2 weeks ago, a YouTube channel called AveryTheMayo uploaded a YouTube video titled Weird Book I Did Not Write, where he shows us a mine that supposedly he never built. Inside the mine is a chest that Avery did not place, and inside the chest is a book that Avery did not write. Inside the book is a very strange message. Whatever you do at the crossroads, don't turn left. Don't be fooled, it's listening. You can't outsmart it, it's listening to me. It's watching me. It isn't from this world. At the crossroads, don't turn left. 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 Over and over, followed by a sequence of numbers. And that's it. It seems impossible that a whole mine just appears in your world without your knowledge, but Avery explains in the description of the video that the laptop he's playing on is from a storage locker. It already had Minecraft installed and this world already existed, but when Avery first loaded it up, it was just a normal world. He only now discovered this mine a few hundred blocks from his house.
So he gets a laptop from a storage locker. It already has Minecraft installed. He opens it. The world is already there. But when he loads in, it loads in like it's a brand new world. And then there's this mine that he didn't create. All right, so I'm just going to try to bring you through my thought process here pretty much. First of all, if you got this laptop from a storage locker, I feel like you should have factory reset the laptop. But listen, if you want free Minecraft, I get it. But I definitely would have made my own world from the start. I would not have used a world that was already on there. But it sounds like there's, you know, this world file has definitely got some kind of corruption or something's up with it. If it started as like a brand new world, but there was already a mine in it.
So in that case, what is this book? The contents are strange and it's not evident what they refer to. If anything, they just sound like some crazy rambling, but the numbers at the end are clearly some sort of code, so maybe we can solve it and figure out what this book is talking about. Except we can't. The numbers go higher than 26, so it's not any alphabetical code. There are 4 sections, not 3, so it isn't coordinates, and in fact there's not a single cipher that comes up as a good match for this code. If it is a code, it's unlike any code I've ever seen, and I wasn't able to decipher it. So is that it? A strange one-off YouTube video and a dead end? Not quite, because for 2 frames at the very end of the video, Avery's inventory flashes a random pattern of blocks, and this time there is a code, because taking the first letter of the name of every block and capitalizing it if there is more than one, you get a string that perfectly matches the length of a Google Drive link that when you enter takes you to a folder. And
Wifies. How did you know that? Credit where credit is due, that's insane. But to look at this, like this flash of inventory, and think that if there's 2 of an item, it's capitalized, and if there's 1, it's lowercase, is just insane to me. These light bulbs too are also like creative only items, right? I don't think you, because those are like the invisible lights that you could place. I don't know, it's been a while since I've done vanilla Minecraft, so maybe I could be wrong, but that is insane. And then to realize that it also is the exact length of a Google Drive link. I am not locked in enough when it comes to code deciphering and stuff. I gotta take some kind of classes or something, because I would never ever be able to put that together.
If there is more than 1, you get a string. A string that perfectly matches the length of a Google Drive link that when you enter takes you to a folder. And this is where the true mystery begins. The mystery of a Minecraft world that doesn't exist. Opening the video named Footage 1, we can see a player in the exact same spot Avery was in the last video, except now he has way more items than he had last time. Presumably this is from his house, and he's come to use this mine in survival as part of this world. The book is now gone from the chest, but it could be that Avery just burned it because it creeped him out, or it's just this book in his inventory. Regardless, Avery lines up with the other strip mine and begins to start a new one into the wall, but when he does, he finds this.
A cave.
Nothing weird, it's just a cave, and Avery walks in to begin exploring until he stops and sees this. It's hard to make out, but as he walks closer, we can see what it is. Moss and grass. This is immediately a red flag because this kind of terrain does not generate in caves. Avery checks underneath it, but there's nothing else either. And when he runs back to grab his torches, he notices yet another patch of moss in the corner of the cave. Again, not natural, but not leading anywhere either. It's only when he heads back down the cave does he see it. A tree. Avery approaches the clump of greenery, and there it is. A tree unlike any other oak tree in the entire game. Whatever this is, it isn't normal. Avery backtracks a bit, and we get a better look at this shrub, for lack of a better word. And after some hesitation and circling around it, Avery decides to try mining the tree. And he does, with no problem. It looks just like a normal tree, except normal trees don't generate underground.
I don't know if I'm jumping to conclusions here with this. This is not the same skin that he was wearing before. Wasn't he like a slime person before? He was. Yeah, the hand is different too. Like if you look at the hand here and then the hand on the skin here, it's different. Which either means that Avery just changed his skin, or this is presumably the person that wrote the book that we're watching. Which then, if that's true, that would add a whole nother layer, because we're saying that this is man-made, like this moss and these trees don't naturally spawn in caves. So that would mean that Avery was in a world where someone else built that like mining system, and then this person is also in Avery's world, realizing that there's something else in this world that they didn't build. Either that or Avery changed his skin. Maybe Avery just changed his skin and I'm overthinking this way too much.
And circling around it, Avery decides to try mining the tree. And he does, with no problem. It looks just like a normal tree, except normal trees don't generate underground. And it's not the only one. As Avery goes deeper and deeper into the cave, he passes larger and larger patches of greenery, coming across more shrubs and even more trees, and even more moss. He pauses to talk at one point, but instead of commenting on the trees, he brings up something else. It's weird, we've only seen stone. And I guess...
Okay, yeah, it's not Avery. The name is blacked out. That's weird. Why would the name be blacked out?
He's right. The walls of this cave don't have any diorite, granite, andesite, or ores, but come on, there's a bigger elephant in the room here. At some point, though, Avery's wish gets granted, and the cave turns into terracotta, tuff, and deep slate. The greenery gets larger and larger, with the trees growing bigger and bigger. Until finally, Avery reaches the end.
Whoa.
Avery stops for several long seconds, just taking everything in. The room is a giant cave of green, with strange, unnaturally large trees forming a staircase on the back wall. The floor is covered in a massive field of moss, scattered with the strange trees we saw earlier. Avery slowly heads down the cavern wall, being careful not to take too much damage while maneuvering his way to the bottom. He looks around in awe as he explores the chamber, and from closer up,
It's you just discovered like what is probably the weirdest thing ever seen in Minecraft. You discovered essentially a man-made cave, and now this giant cave with trees weirdly placed and shaped and everything. And your comment is, no ores though. Can't forget the reason why we even are here right now is because bro was trying to mine. This is sick and all, this is like really weird, but no ores. People like Wifies that make these Minecraft ARG like examination videos are just on a different level, because there's things like the moss and, you know, no, like it just being stone in the cave that I just would never pick up on. Like I saw that cave, the first cave that he was in, not this giant one, like the smaller one, and I didn't think that there was really anything wrong with it, or that there was anything wrong with the moss, until he said like this stuff doesn't naturally spawn in caves. It's just small details like that that I would never notice on my own.
Up, we can see a tunnel right between the massive tree gates. Avery searches around the trees for a few minutes, seemingly mesmerized by the build, and we can see that these gates are made of trees stacked on trees, stacked on trees, made of spruce, mud, and oak. But the question here is obvious. What is this place? This kind of terrain obviously doesn't generate naturally, so who made it, and how does it just appear in Avery's world? Well, if there's any answer to that question, it's through this tunnel, because finally Avery decides to stop sightseeing and heads down the tunnel at the center of the room. Avery walks through the mud brick tunnel, turning to glance behind him every few steps, but of course, nothing is there. The world is set to single player. At least, it seems that way. Until this happens. Something is wrong. It's almost impossible to notice, but at the far edge of the tunnel, the first pair of torches have suddenly been wiped out. Avery stares for a few seconds and continues walking. Another pair of torches is gone.
Oh, I could see it now.
I'm not scared of torches turning off. And then another. I don't know what kind of practical joke this is, but I already heard you in the... I'm not scared of a game. I don't know why I just jumped down. I wasn't scared.
Brother. It's okay. It's okay, man. It's okay. That scared me a little bit too, I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know how old this person is that's playing, but like, even me myself, if I was just like sitting in my room and like, you know, I'm playing Minecraft single player and this weird stuff starts happening and I start hearing whispers in my game of Minecraft, yeah, I'd be a little scared. I mean, personally, I would have hit escape and disconnected right there, but this guy's ballsy. Because even when the torches were breaking, I was like, why isn't he just continuing to run? I would have just ran to the end of the hallway. I would not have sat there and waited. But clearly you were a little scared, man. That's why you jumped down. Let's be real. It's okay. It's okay. This is fire so far, though. This video in general. I'm understanding why this is getting so many views. Shout out Wifies.
But I felt compelled. I've never felt like that in my life.
Oh, so you were like influenced in a way?
What is going on here? Things just went from strange to incredibly creepy in a matter of seconds. This doesn't just happen on a normal world, but Avery did say he found this world on a computer he got from a storage locker. So maybe this is just a world that the old owner of this computer created, and it's just some strange adventure horror map. Case closed. Except it's not, because the video files aren't the only thing in this Google Drive folder. If you remember, there's also this PDF, and opening it, we see this. My exploration into a strange tunnel I found in my Minecraft world. I've been playing this world for a while and just discovered this. This is my documentation of the search. Notably, when I installed Minecraft, this world came pre-created. Always thought that was a little strange, but I'm not really sure. This seems okay enough, but remember what Avery said earlier. He found this computer in a storage locker with Minecraft installed. Not he installed Minecraft and this world was there. Admittedly, it's a pretty small difference, but still, why the conflicting stories? Something you may have also noticed that I can't explain is why Avery's name is now censored. He wasn't censored in the previous videos, but now he's both hidden his name and changed his skin, almost like he's hiding from something. But there's still a lot more of this footage, and if you want to figure out what's happening in this world, why it exists, and what it has to do with Avery, we have to keep watching as Avery runs from whatever it is that's hiding in this world.
So maybe I am wrong. Maybe it is Avery and there's like some other twist to this story that now he's hiding his username and changed his skin, trying to appear as like a different player maybe. But on the contrary, if it is a different player, it would explain the conflicting statements of I installed Minecraft versus I found Minecraft already installed on this laptop in a storage locker. This could be the person still, you know, before Mayo. But it's interesting, even if this is like the person before Mayo, and they installed Minecraft on their computer, the fact that they installed it and this world was already on it is the same scenario as Mayo, which makes me wonder like where they downloaded Minecraft from. Obviously, you know, some people download like Minecraft, like, does the cracked version still exist? If you downloaded Minecraft for free on a sketchy site, it could explain why there's a pre-created world. And obviously, depending where you downloaded it, there could be like some nefarious thing going on there. Again, just my thoughts. But maybe we'll see. Maybe all will be revealed in this video. I'm also curious if this is just going to be like a one, like this is all going to be in one story, or if maybe there's a sequel eventually going to come to this. So I don't know if this is going to like entirely wrap everything up in this video.
Avery says he has to keep moving, even if he doesn't exactly know why, and the only way to go is down. Avery takes a leap into the giant pool of water before him and swims down into a junction of tunnels. After some hesitation, he burrows himself in the left wall for air before swimming down the left tunnel. He continues to navigate.
What did it say at the beginning of the video? Don't turn left at the crossroads. And this guy just went left when there was an option for left or right. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Through the dark water, the tunnel getting narrower and narrower with no end in sight. until it opens into a giant cavernous room with just enough space at the top to get a bit of air. When Avery descends again, we can see tunnel openings sprawling across the walls. Avery scans around. There's no marker of where to go, just tunnels upon tunnels as far as the eye can see. And then he hears it. The same sound as when the whispers played previously. Avery rushes to dig into the wall, and as he blocks himself in, we can hear the whispers again. Quieter, but still there, as if they're passing by him. When the coast is clear, Avery digs out. But now what? He has no choice but to gamble on a tunnel and hope it's correct. He scans the walls again, no obvious sign of which one to pick. So finally, he rolls the dice.
Sorry for pausing again. So the voices is maybe like some kind of entity then that he can't see, but he can hear when it's coming, if it just came and passed by. I also wonder if the whispers are like actual, like he said that he felt compelled to jump into the hole after he heard the whispers the first time. I wonder if the whispers are somehow getting in his head and influencing him to make certain decisions. Because now he heard the whispers, they passed by, but he decided to go through one of the tunnels. Like maybe this tunnel will lead somewhere, and he was influenced by the voices.
The tunnel leads to another junction, and again, after a slight hesitation,
Made a
Avery
left.
goes left.
Made a left.
The tunnel continues, getting narrower and narrower and narrower until finally,
Dead end. Nope. Another huge
he
cave.
finds himself in the oasis. Avery looks around the room, strangely almost peaceful. He's in the middle of a square pond, flanked on all sides by the same uncanny trees. He stares off at the water for a second before towering up and getting a good look around. Nothing but trees as far as the eye can see. For a moment, he pauses before something snaps, and he crafts a boat to get to the center of the lake. Without hesitation, he dives down into the tunnel and plugs up the hole. He makes another trip for good measure, plugging it even further. If this thing comes through here again, it has to break that, but I need to explore. He sails back to the edge of the lake. What it can't avoid doing is loading the chunk. Avery chops a few trees and crafts a hopper with the spare iron in his inventory. His plan is simple: set a trap for the thing following him. But wait, did I miss something? Because how does he know that something is following him? Sure, those torches turned off, and yeah, we heard those noises before, but there's actually an even stronger piece of evidence I haven't mentioned. Remember when Avery said this? I already heard you in the cave. Well, it took me a second to figure out what exactly he meant, but then I heard this. It's almost impossible to make out, but on a few separate instances while Avery was walking in that original cave, he would randomly pause for a second or two, and now we know why. He was listening. Every time he paused for just a brief moment, you could hear footsteps on the stone behind him, stopping just a fraction of a second too late.
See, this is what I mean, dude. Like, that's something I would not have picked up on. I would have just thought it was like the sound of his steps lagging. Again, though, that like picturing yourself as this player, like you're playing Minecraft alone and you're hearing someone else behind you in a single player world is actually really disturbing. Again, The fact that bro didn't log off though after that is crazy to me.
Be quiet. But okay, if something is somehow really following Avery in a single player world, how can he stop it or at least get it to reveal itself? Well, that's exactly what he's doing right now. Like he said, he needs time to look around and explore this world, but while he's gone, anything can just swim through the hole and replace the blocks to make it look like nothing happened. But if Avery turns down his render distance and puts items in this hopper, if he then goes far enough away and unloads the chunk, the only way for the hopper to be empty when he returns is if something loaded the chunk while he was gone. And then, whatever was following him would be exposed. The trap is set. Now, it's time to explore.
Sorry, I'm pausing again. And again, like, what an insane level play. Not only just blocking the path and being like, well, it's going to have to break it to get through here, but it could just replace the blocks. So you set up a hopper that it should not empty out entirely unless someone else loads in the chunk for it to empty. You got to be like a Minecraft expert to think of that, right? Like, that's not just me. I would never have thought of something like that. That's crazy.
Avery walks through the trees, avoiding the lake so as to not load the chunk. Every inch of this place looks exactly the same. The same gray floor, the same strange trees. Everywhere he looks, there's nothing. Until, just in the corner of the screen, there's a sign. But it's hard to spot, and Avery doesn't seem to see it, and he keeps walking. Then he pauses. Interesting. That's the third sign we've seen so far. What? Where? Third sign? I've only seen this one, but it turns out he's right. Going back and re-watching the footage, just barely hidden in the corners of the screen are two other signs Avery crossed earlier in the recording, though he gave no indication at the time that he noticed them. Avery goes back to all three signs. All of them are blank, so I don't know what to make of it, but Avery seems to be satisfied and he explains why. These signs all seem to point to one place. Both of these angled ones point in the same direction. And he's right. If you line up a coordinate grid with the location and rotation of the signs, you get this. So he's right, all of them point a certain way, and
All right. That's just insane to me. That's just insane to me. I'm trying to think of I'm trying to think of this in so many different layers, like as someone that's analyzing the footage and then as someone that like would be playing Minecraft experiencing this firsthand. I probably wouldn't have even noticed the signs, let alone picked up on the fact that all of them aim in one direction. Which is crazy.
if you trace out their intersection, it hits one specific point. He also pulls off this brilliant move, which you rarely see from these protagonists, by turning the difficulty to peaceful because he ran out of food. Absolutely genius. But with that said, he returns to the lake to check on his contraption. And nothing showed up. Items are still flowing out of the hopper, which would be impossible if anything had loaded the chunk. Avery tells us exactly this. Nothing came through. Not to mention, the blocks are still in the same position Avery placed them to plug the hole. Now that he's shaken off whatever was following him, Avery sails back, presumably to find the intersection points of the signs. But before he does that, he opens up chat and says this. Something is here. What? How? Why is Avery saying that? Why isn't he sending it in chat? What did he see?
He doesn't even send the message.
But I'm not taking any chances. The grass block. When Avery left the chunk, he didn't just set one trap for the entity, he set two. Without mentioning anything to us, he placed a grass block next to a block of dirt. In Minecraft, grass can't spread if the chunk isn't loaded. The only way that this block is now grass is if something other than Avery loaded this chunk.
That's actually insane. This has to be, oh my god, is this normal? Like, I've only watched a few Minecraft, like, ARG, like, examination videos on, you know, stuff like this. He not only set the hopper trap, well, first he set the, you know, the trap of just blocking up the hole, which is very basic and something I would have done. But then he does the hopper trap, which I thought was really smart. And then he even does the grass trap, which is such a tiny, like, it's super simple. Even I know that, like, grass connected to dirt, eventually grass will, you know, connect that dirt. But that's such a simple and subtle trap to set as, like, a secondary. But it's insane that whatever this thing is following him triggered the grass to grow, but not the hopper. It's just actually insane.
Not scared, but my gut says to keep moving.
And he's smart enough to not type it in chat. Which, sorry for pausing again, is smart because he set the world to peaceful now. And if this thing continues to show itself and follow him, then it's definitely not some kind of mob. It has to be another player, probably, right? It's either another player or it's something that just is beyond the bounds of Minecraft. But if it's another player, anything he types in chat would definitely be visible by the other player. So it's smart to type it only to us to see and read, but not actually send it.
Maybe I am scared.
It's okay to admit, bro. I commend you for continuing to explore. I'd have to explore with somebody. Alright, so we're following the sign now.
The other sign was pointed head on.
Please don't be copyrighted music.
So many crimes, and I was pretty sure of myself. You gave me reasons to be somebody.
What block is that?
else. Baby, I'm home again.
Another mud tunnel.
Avery walks through a tunnel which quickly turns into a maze. And slowly but surely, dead end after dead end, Avery navigates through it.
I wonder if whatever this thing is actually, like, leading him here on purpose. Because if you think about it, like, everywhere that he's gone has somehow, it's not like he's just exploring and casually finding these things. He's following clues to get from location to location to location. And I almost wonder if he's getting baited by whatever this, like, overarching entity is. Smart's put the sand blocks down so you know where you've been.
Avery is clearly smart. Smart enough to set a trap and smart enough to set a backup. But whatever this thing is that's following him, it's smart too. Smart enough to block up the tunnel it entered from. Smart enough to refill the hopper with items after loading the chunk.
Oh. So that's the thing. Wow, so it is extremely smart. It refilled the hopper, make him think that nothing came through. That's smart. That's insane. Again, insane level of intellect going on in this video.
Enough to hide its presence. This world seems to be guiding Avery somewhere. The whispers in this tunnel coercing him to enter the cave. The signs pointing to the secret entrance under the tree. Whatever this world is, it's leading Avery. But to what? We don't know. All we do know is that he isn't alone. And finally, Avery exits the maze into another giant room with what looks like a cipher above a door, with 3 levers right in front of it. Avery stares up at it, says he'll need a pen and paper, and blocks up the tunnel where he came from. The footage ends with him staring up at the code, deep in thought. From what I can see, the code atop the doorway looks something like this. It doesn't immediately remind me of anything, and plugging it into a cipher decoder gives me no ideas either. Running each of the candidate ciphers just gives gibberish every single time. Whatever this code is, there's unfortunately no way that I, or Avery, can solve it. The second half of the footage picks up with 17 minutes of just staring at the wall, and then he gets it. Okay, I guess it was solvable. Avery says it's a good poem, but doesn't actually reveal what it said, only that it uses cipher stacking, a technique where 2 ciphers are layered one on top of the other to make a code almost undecipherable. How Avery actually solved it with a pen and paper is beyond me, but the puzzle isn't over yet.
Cipher stacking does seem like that would be a controversial practice. I mean, I guess the point of a cipher is that it's a secret message for only people that you kind of want to see it, right? So to do a cipher on top of a cipher, the only person that would be able to decode something like that would be the person that it was intended for, that would know the ciphers needed to decode it. Which again, like Wifies saying here, how the hell would he have known what ciphers to stack to decode that? Given that this video has like 22 million views, I'm willing to bet that somebody has figured it out, right? All right, so shout out to the internet for this one. Apparently, if you use the Vigenary key SIPSA, which is the word yellow shifted forwards 4 times, it gives you something close to this. Beneath the sky of melting gold, ancient echoes of a shepherd's mold, an old decay. If left one goes, is unseen truth, all but Fox. The only thing I got out of that was if left one goes, which again, don't make a left at the crossroads. Let's just keep going and see. Maybe we'll get more of this. I don't understand why it's the word yellow shifted forwards 4 times. I don't think we've seen much yellow, so.
There's still this gate, which Avery suspects is some sort of combination lock. But instead of a pen and paper, his solution this time is a bit more, how do I put this? Efficient.
Is he just gonna break through it? I respect it. I respect it.
And with that, wait. Who's Durlord 3? For the first time in this footage, Avery's sensor bar lingers for just a second too short, and we get a glimpse of the name. This isn't Avery's name. This isn't Avery's skin. Maybe the reason that we got 2 different stories about where this world came from is because the player we've been watching this entire time isn't Avery at all. But if that's the case, then who is this? The world at the beginning is clearly the same one that Avery was playing on. So what's going on here? If it is Avery on an alt account, why the conflicting stories in the description and the document? And if it's not Avery, then who is this other person, and why are they claiming that this is their world they found? I genuinely just don't know, but the only way to find out is to keep watching as Durlord walks through the tunnel after the puzzle and finds himself in the village.
Okay, so I was right. This isn't Mayo. Sorry, I keep calling him Mayo. Avery, Mayo, you know what I mean? This is definitely the person that ends up writing the book then, I think. This is the person that had the world before Avery did. And they must have disposed of their laptop after whatever this footage is in a storage locker. Or just forgot in a storage locker? I don't know. This is sick. Abandoned village. What a nice build, just in general. Building on Minecraft was like my favorite thing to do. I used to love playing Build Battle on Hypixel, so I could always respect a sick build. And like a village in a cave like this is just awesome. With that center too? Is that yellow? Definitely something in there, right? Surely. Village looks completely empty though, like no items or anything. Yellow bed. This is awesome. Looks like some kind of angel or something. Aha! Oh. Okay.
It's empty. This village is strange. It's clearly abandoned, if the cobwebs and literal holes in the roof didn't make that obvious, and all the chests and containers have nothing inside of them. There's also an interesting amount of yellow in the carpets, beds, and flooring, but wherever Durlord looks, he can't find anything of interest, no lead on where to go or what to do from here. The fountain and statue in the town center is by far the most eye-catching decoration here, but like we can see, it too is empty. There's no path to take from there. So, is this the final area then? The final answer to what's been going on with this world and what's been following him? I'm not sure, and clearly Durlord isn't either, since he keeps looking around for anything out of the ordinary, anything that might give him a clue of where to look next.
Oh, there's another building in the far corner. Again, smart player. I would have just broke that whole tower down until I got close enough to not taking fall damage. Ooh. Looks like a church or something almost. Wow, the music and everything. Not seeing much of anything. Damn. To be fair, it does look like it's the only slab over the floor in the entire place. But still, I feel like there's some kind of influence that he's under right now that is sending him down a specific path. Was that book readable there? We're at another dead end. Book's gotta say something.
I hate it here. These idiots are insufferable. They think that devotion will save them. Rest assured, it will not. Not that it will do them any good to believe that anyway. The ones who realized it pretend they didn't. But it doesn't help that there are some of them who truly believe they'll be saved. The king is coming, Maya. If anything, I wager that their king is already here. It's watching me write this. I don't particularly care. I just want this to be done with. The sooner I can leave, the better. He's arrived. I don't know why anyone is surprised to find that out. This is exactly what they were hoping for.
The king.
I'm going. I'm leaving this here in the rare case someone finds it. If you have found this, I implore you, turn back, disconnect, forget about this world. It's not for you. If you've come here, you must be curious. I know you must want to continue onwards. So I know that this is a heavy ask, but please, do not go any further. For your own good, do not.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. The chance to disconnect was back in the cave hearing the footsteps. The second chance to disconnect was after the grass continued to grow, knowing something that was following. Actually, no. The second chance to disconnect was hearing the whispers. And then the third chance was for sure something was following when the grass continued to grow on the dirt block. But at this point, we're in too deep. There is no disconnecting at this point. We're going all the way, right? You're not going to disconnect on me now. Again, I feel like something's guiding him. There's just no way. Alright, go on then. Another long tunnel. Are the torches going to go out again? Again, huge shout out to Wifies. Like the vibe, the music, the sound, and everything in this is amazing. They're gonna make a left again. The whispers. He made the left. Those blocks are like completely black. The noise again. Weird. That sound almost sounds like something burning, maybe? It's censored? Oh, he did not like what he saw. What the hell? What could it possibly be that he censored it? Wait, what? Hold on. Okay, so he goes right instead. How could he even logically, like, get back to the original strip mine? Hasn't he been going like deeper and deeper this entire time, and then he goes the other way and ends up here? the book.
Whatever you do at the crossroads, don't turn left. Don't be fooled. It's listening. You can't outsmart it. It's listening to me. It's watching me. It isn't from this world. At the crossroads, don't turn left. 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 And the footage ends. Right there. Durlord was the person who wrote the book in Avery's world. How? It shouldn't even be possible that the tunnel led him back to that mine.
Yeah.
Durlord found this world on his computer, and Avery found Durlord's old laptop in the storage locker and has been playing on it ever since. But what is this world? What was following Durlord in this footage? And most importantly, what was behind those gates? I didn't put that sensor bar there. That was in the original footage. Whatever is behind that black square was enough to drive probably the smartest protagonist I've ever seen into running for his life. Something that a whole village of people was trying to summon. Something that this entire world has been hiding. A king? What does that even mean? I don't know what to tell you, but I can tell you one thing. The code at the end of the book, now with this footage, we can solve it. Each number corresponds to one slot in Durlord's inventory. 1 here and 36 here. Take the first letter of each item, or whatever number is indicated after the dash. From that, we can get this.
What?
Run Avery. It's here. Durlord was giving one last warning, hoping that whatever was following him wouldn't see. But how? How would he possibly know that Avery would find this world? There's no way for him to know who Avery even is. Whatever he saw behind those doors, whatever he knows about this world now, we may never understand. But one thing is certain. Whatever was coming for him is coming for Avery next. This isn't over.
Wow. Okay, hello there. So it has been a whole day, actually more than a day, since I recorded that earlier section of the video. I originally did an outro, but upon learning more about what we just watched, I did a lot more research, and I've even bought a book now. Let's just go through what is going on here. So I think the big question is, what was on the other side of the door? What did Durlord see that scared him so much that he ran back, wrote that book, and then seemingly never went online ever again? Well, it seems a lot of people think it was the King in Yellow. Now, if you're like me, you probably have no idea what that is. And even upon doing research on the King in Yellow, I seem to keep going in circles. I read something about it, and then I read someone else say, no, that's not true. And I just keep going in circles about this, but apparently a lot of the information on this thing comes from a single book. Let me just give you some of the information that I know, but be aware some of this may be slightly off, if not entirely off. I swear I've read so many threads, different websites of information, and I've come down to the conclusion that I just need to go to the source. The King in Yellow is a book from 1895, which is a collection of supernatural horror short stories. It's written by Robert W. Chambers, and it seems to be what I believe is the original creation of this thing. In those short stories, the King in Yellow is represented in a few different ways, but most importantly, it is described as a play, not a person, but mostly seen as a play. And apparently, it's a play where if you read the second act of it, you go insane. The second act is described as being too beautiful for the human mind to grasp. Therefore, people go mad reading it. I've also read that the King in Yellow is represented as a person or a creature at one point that wears a hood and a mask. Then I've also seen that it's represented as a yellow sign. And the King in Yellow is also known to be associated with the city of Carcosa, which is referenced and depicted as a ruined city. which to me reminds me of this little city that Durlord found during the video. This also makes sense why the decoder key was the word yellow and why there was a lot of yellow being seen throughout the later half of the video. Knowing this information, a lot of people believe this just because of the way things are described and seen throughout this video. But also, does this mean that Durlord saw the king in yellow itself on the other side of the door? That is still not entirely confirmed. Again, from what I've read, it's not seeing the king in yellow that drives you insane. It is reading it, reading that second act. So I've seen some theories online that people think that maybe Durlord was in a way experiencing the play itself. That the entire video that we watched may have been him experiencing Act 1, and on the other side of the door was the visual representation of Act 2. Driving him insane. A lot of people also describe the King in Yellow as one of the first forms of cosmic horror. And the madness that you get, some people describe it as being filled with infinite knowledge type of thing. In my experience with seeing some things that are cosmic horror, some stories, you know, if you look at a specific entity, it is so hard to comprehend that your mind goes insane. And maybe that's what happened to Durlord when he saw the other side of the door. And, you know, upon experiencing this with his last moments of sanity, gave that warning to Avery. Another thing is the King in Yellow, if it is this insane entity, then I still believe that it was leading Durlord on the path that he took throughout this video. Durlord is depicted as an extremely intelligent person throughout all of this, which is the way that he tries to, you know, trap the person with the grass and the dirt block. His just being able to recognize the signs and how they all point in the same direction. You saw it a ton of times during this video, just how smart he was. But I think he thought he was outsmarting whatever was following him or whatever was causing all the events in his world. But really, the thing causing everything, the King in Yellow, was actually manipulating him and leading him down the path to eventually go mad at the end. That's my current understanding of it. Obviously, that all sounds insanely complicated, and hopefully you're following me on that one. But again, like I said, everything that I tried to look up here is I just keep seeing conflicting things being said about the King in Yellow. And I think that the best way for me to understand this is to just read the book itself. Now, I did order the book. It's getting here in a few days. So I'm putting out this video now, but by the time you're watching this, I will be reading it already. And I'm going to read the entire thing and hopefully come to an understanding as to what the King in Yellow is exactly, or how it's represented in this book. Okay, hello guys. Welcome to my living room. This is a bit different than usual, but I want to let you know that I got the book and I have been reading it. I'm 47 pages in right now, and honestly, if I waited to release this video until I finish this book, this video would be out in like a month. I am a slow reader, so I like taking my time with reading and trying to really understand exactly what I'm reading. And I've read the first 3 stories, and honestly, it would be a whole video in itself to try to recap the first 3 stories to you. I've sat here and tried to recap them, but I go on tangents for super, super long. But in terms of what I can understand and explain to you, so in the book, the King in Yellow is referred to as a play, like I said, where the first act is fine to read, but the second act is apparently this extremely beautiful piece of work, but it does drive you insane. And in the first story, you do see how reading the King in Yellow drives the character insane. In the second story, it's a brief mention that the character reads the King in Yellow and he has some dreams about it a little bit, but he just gets sick for a little while, and then after that he's fine, so he doesn't get driven insane. And then in the third story, it's said that the main character read the King in Yellow and he has not been doing well for the past few days after reading it, and he's in church, and this organ player in the church gives him like a really dirty look. So he tries to leave, and he keeps seeing the organ player everywhere that he goes, even though it doesn't make sense how he's there. And eventually he gets cornered, and the organ player goes to grab him, and then he wakes back up in the church from the beginning. And oh, it's a nightmare. But then his entire world around him falls apart, and he ends up being in Carcosa. And Carcosa is described as this place with black stars and I believe 2 moons and a lake, and it's this really like creepy, weird, it doesn't make any sense place. But apparently the character, like his entire world falls apart around him and he's in Carcosa, and he hears the king in yellow say to him, "It is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living God," which goes pretty hard. But again, I'm trying to relate the information that I've read best to the video as possible. In terms of like wherever he goes, this character sees this organ player, makes me wonder if that's a connection to how when Durlord is going through the entire system of caves and different rooms and things like that, he seems to feel like he's constantly being followed by this entity that he doesn't know what it is. And maybe it's relating to that. Like, even though it doesn't make sense how this thing could be following him this entire time, it always seems to be there. And there also is the fact of the play driving you insane, which we've discussed a lot of times already. But it makes me wonder if, like in the first story, the character says that he reads the first act of the play, then he knows the second act is bad, so he throws it into the fire, but he reads the first few words and he gets it out of the fire to finish it. It's almost like he was compelled to continue reading it, which you can relate to. Durlord at one point when he jumps into the hole with the water says that he felt compelled to do it even though he didn't really want to. I wonder if the theories are true that people are having, in that Durlord is experiencing a different version of the play by playing Minecraft itself, and maybe he's experiencing the first and second acts throughout the entire video, and at the end it is just a final culmination of the madness, and by then it's already too late. But what's interesting to me is that in the story, in the first story, with the guy that says that he completely reads through the second act, he doesn't acknowledge anything wrong with the King in Yellow. In fact, he thinks it's like this incredible work of art. So if Durlord actually does like experience the second act behind the other side of the door or through going through this entire thing, the fact that he panics at the end is interesting to me, because it seems that people that actually do end up reading it don't go or don't think that they're insane. It's just very interesting. And like I said, I still have more to read, and hopefully if Searching for a World Doesn't Exist gets a part 2, I could explain further my findings and understandings of the entire book. All right, back to normal Marcus. I 100% think that there's going to be a sequel to this video. I mean, first of all, it performed incredibly well on YouTube. I think Wifies would be crazy not to make a second one, but also because I think that ending leaves things very up in the air. And at the very end of the video, there is like something that says like part 2 ? Yeah, I think there's going to be a part 2. And even if Durlord is out of the picture because he's gone completely insane, there is still AveryTheMayo, the actual first main character of this. And some interesting things to note, this is obviously all an ARG, and to my understanding, it's scripted and created by Wifies, but I really don't care about that. This is such an incredible piece of entertainment and such a well-told story, the way that everything's being depicted. And an interesting thing to note is that AveryTheMayo actually commented under Wifies' video, which is kind of funny. And when you go to AveryTheMayo's channel, it still has the same videos that were, shown in the video that we just watched, but there is a community post showing that AveryTheMayo is at the crossroads. Now, maybe this is a little hint or a teaser to a part 2, or maybe this is showing exactly where part 2 is going to be at. And if that's true, Avery is pretty stupid, the fact that he went and followed exactly to the crossroads. But I guess we'll have to see where things go next. Obviously, please be sure to go and subscribe to Wifies Channel, who will be linked at the top of the description down below. Please be sure to go and support your Minecraft ARG creators. And other than that, guys, I think that's going to be it for today. I would love to know your thoughts, and if you are someone that has a better understanding on the King in Yellow, I know I'm going to read the book, but I would still like to hear exactly what you have to say about it, just so I could try to gain more knowledge about these things. I have just come to the conclusion that reading like all these things I'm seeing online is just not the right way to go about it. I should just go to the actual source of where this thing came from and just read the book directly. And lastly, don't forget, we're on the second channel. This is not like the usual type of analog horror, so I decided to put it on here, and we'll probably be going over more stuff like this on this channel, so please be sure to subscribe. We're trying to hit 50K over here on Project Immortal. Also, if you did enjoy the video, please don't forget to drop a like on it. And other than that, guys, I hope you have an incredible rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.